Hey artists, we're going to make these beautiful glowing lanterns. Follow along with me and I'll show you all the steps to creating your own. All right, with our pencil, we're going to go ahead and sketch out our lamp. And so the top shape is going to be like a triangle, and we're going to want that toward the top of our page. So we're just going to do like a triangle shape at the top. And then we can have that kind of go across. The thing is, you can decide if you want your little lamp to be more rectangular, like straight edges coming down, or if you want it to look more like a rounded lamp. So if I wanted one more triangular, I'd probably just make it straight across. That's what we'll go ahead and do. If you want it to be more rounded, you could also round it up to make it look like the glass is round. We'll go ahead and do straight. Down here toward the bottom of the page, and we're going to draw a smaller line that is parallel to the first line. Make sure you can see these lines here. So this one's larger, this one is smaller. And then I'm going to put just a little dot down here to guide me that's right in the center of that line. And then we can bring that down to make the bottom of the lamp. So this is like the metal piece of our lamp. If you want to make it look rounded, you would round these edges with your pencil. If you'd rather have kind of a straighter lamp, you're just going to draw your straight line going up. And there's our little lamp. Now at the top of the lamp, going to put, and you might have, sometimes they have more of a point at the top, which is just more decorative, which looks kind of cool. And then we also want to have the little loop that holds the hook. So we're going to have a rounded piece here to imagine that this is being held out onto the street to cast the light. So coming from here, and this can be kind of a swirly if you want to have like a swirl in the metal. We're going to have this little hook come through to hold the lamp. And this might be a little thicker. So we're imagining this is the hook that is holding our lamp. Once we've got that sketched out, then we can start applying the color. With our chalk, we're going to create the illusion that our lamp is glowing in the dark, snowy night. So to do that, we're going to need some yellow. We're going to need some kind of orange. And you could do like a peachy orange and then fade it to a regular orange. This is kind of your decision here, what colors you want to do. And then it will pop over to like a red. And then it'll go fuchsia, like a darker purpley color. And you gotta kind of dig around and see what you got. That's a nice fuchsia color. Then we're gonna go to like a deeper purple and then black. Well, there's my black. There's my purple. Okay, we've got our progression of colors here. Now we're ready to go ahead and take those and start our project. So with your yellow, you're going to make a circle shape. Just kind of going around your lamp. And you can have it come into your lamp a little bit. And we're going to be leaving the center white. Ugh, I have a string that is getting in the way. And then you can take your finger and kind of blend that around. So it looks like the light in here is so bright, it's keeping this part white. And then it fades to this bright yellow. Now we're going to take your orange and add the next layer. And that's kind of my peachy orange. Then we can go to our orangey orange. And you can use your finger to blend these up. This is already looking like our lamp is glowing. It's pretty cool. Okay. Then we're going to take our red. And you don't want a ton of red, just a little bit. And I'm just using one finger. We don't want to make a huge mess by getting chalk all over our hands and bodies. Perfect. And if you have some of this extra, you can just kind of get that dust off of there. Now we're going to be going into the night colors. So I've got the fuchsia. And then the purple. And you're going to take that and fade it together. Blending, blending, blending our colors. And last but not least, to make it look like a nice dark night sky, we're coming in with the black. And you want these to be really dark corners. To show that it's nighttime. And it makes our lamp look like it's glowing a lot more. And you gotta be careful. My hands are dirty. I don't want to get, see, I'm already making a little bit of a mess there. Now using our finger and hold in place and blend that darkness around. And we want to blend it right up on that purple to show that dark, dark night. And then we are definitely going to need to wipe our fingers off nice and clean because we've made quite the mess. This looks awesome. Uh-oh, see what I did there? We can wipe that off in a second. Okay, this is looking amazing. We've got that glowing lamp in this dark night. Let's get a wipe off our hands, and I can get a little tissue and wipe off that extra, and we can go to the next step. All right, this looks amazing. It's time for us to go ahead and draw the candle inside of our lantern. I'm going to take an extra piece of paper just so that way when I'm resting over the chalk, I'm not smearing it with my hand. So I'm going to set it here because right here at the bottom of our lantern is going to be where our candle sits. And so I'm just going to kind of think about the shape of a candle. So it's going to be going up. And it's kind of situated down here. Now, if it's been melting over time, it might kind of melt over to the side here. And if it's melting, it might kind of come down here with an open area where that wax is melting. And then we can put the wick of the candle. That's the part that we set on fire. And then we can put our little flame coming up here. And that looks pretty good to me for our candle. So to add a little color and dimension to our candle, I like the colored pencil sticks. We also have colored pencils. This is a nice kind of tan off-white that I could use just to kind of go around the edge of my candle, but still keeping it kind of light. I'll push hard and then go a little lighter, 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 and just kind of fade it out. just to get the outline going, but keeping our candle mostly white. And I'll do that up here too. I'm putting a shadow underneath the little melted part here where it kind of melts down. Then for our flame, we know in the center, just kind of like the light here, it's going to be lighter and then get darker. So I'm going to leave a little white space and then put some yellow. And then I'm going to get a little bit of orange. I'm not pushing too hard, just trying to get some of that color deposited. And then the edge of our flame will be a little bit of red, just to show it's really burning bright in here. And I might put red on the wick too. That looks pretty good to me. All right, we've got our candle in the center. We've got our beautiful background we've done with chalk, and now it's time to add that wrought iron metal, and we're going to be using our oil pastel for that. I'm just going to go make this a little bit of a darker there. That looks great. All right, so we're going to grab our black oil pastel and we're going to start adding some of that black metal wrought iron. Now, this was usually kind of a scrolly metal, meaning there's lots of like turns and twists of the metal. So I'm gonna do this part first. And I'm using this piece of paper so I do not get chalk all over myself as I add this oil pastel here. So I'm thinking about adding some of that scrolly metal. So I might have like a little swirl here, a little swirl here. Maybe I'll leave a little space to show like little details in the metal. And we can look at some pictures of some wrought iron lanterns and lamps just to kind of see what they look like. So I'm going to add some little swirlies down here. I think that's looking pretty cool. And I want to have my lamp go up here. So I'm pushing with that oil pastel. Honestly, I'm probably going to turn my paper so I'm not smearing. And I can get this area. Now again, if you wanted to add some of that scrolly metal, you could have some little pieces of the metal come down. Just to give it some extra flair. And then you can decide how much of it you want to color in solid and how much, again, you want to add just the detail. So I'm going to add this on here. And I might have a little detail come out. And up here we have lots of room to add some swirls if we want. Then we're going to put the hook and the hanger. Now I almost can barely see where I originally drew that. But let's see, we've got this kind of came through here to hold it up. This is looking really neat. And again, if we want to have some little swirls in our metal, just to give it some cool detail, absolutely. I might make this a little thicker. All right, carefully I'm going to turn that over. And now we're ready to add some paint. All right, so with our little tiny brush, we're going to get a little bit of white paint. Just add some highlights to kind of give the metal a shine. Especially up here where it's kind of hard to see, we can add some of the shine on the metal. All right, and then once you are satisfied with that, we're just going to add some little drops of snow, taking our brush and making some little dots of snow. We're just going to put little dots all over. All right, we've got our highlights and our snow, and we have completed our beautiful glowing wrought iron lantern, and I cannot wait to see the one that you create.